Hello, weary traveler. I'm not sure what strange magic must have brought you here, but you have stepped into a realm of my creation. A sprawling city filled with danger and glory, and most importantly, lots of gold. I call it Isla Numus. Who am I, you might ask? The name is Gideon, and I'm the patron deity of gambling. Long story short, this group of idiots, or as you may call them, heroes, made a bet with me that they had what it took to make a vast trove of gold, but left some of the key details blank, so I filled them in myself. I sent them to this pocket dimension, into the city I had created with brand new bodies they'd have to attune to. Can these fools pass my test, or will they be trapped here forever? So, experience my world of trials and tribulations, and join alongside this posse of pitiful people, or as I like to call them, the Criminals of Isla Numus.
And welcome back to another episode of Criminals of Isla Numus. Last time when you guys, maybe I should intro you guys first. I don't know, that feels right, and then I'll do a recap. Yeah, we'll do that. All right,
try again.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we can leave it as is. People get a kick out of me struggling to intro an episode of the podcast. I think. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But whatever the case, to my right, we've got Dave playing Maki.
Hi, Dave here playing Maki, as Skylar just said. Maki is a Kenku who used to be a human monk, but now is a Kenku sorcerer who likes to take a walk on the shadow side. You know what I mean?
Maybe, if you've been listening. I would hope so. We're going to see that, I'm sure, even more as we've seen the strange magic spark from within Maki and slowly start to rise. That sounds, I don't know where I was going with that. Whatever the case, fantastic. Next to Dave, we've got Quinn, who's playing Feather McGregor, a.k.a. Lil Sauce.
Yeah, so Feather McGregor. I think we're, last time I was having met with McGriddle's father. Pretty much
I was going to do all this.
I know, but that's vital my character.
Okay.
So, I think we're going to go down that path tonight. He's kind of conflicted with what's going on. Recruited the help of these guys, so excited to see where that goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's going to be intense. Awesome. Next to Quinn, we've got Jackson. Jackson's playing Diz.
I'm Jackson, or Jack. I play Dez. He was a Trident fighter and is now a Kenku ranger. Fun fact about Dez, he is terrified of pufferfish.
Pufferfish? Interesting.
Aren't we all?
The expansion of their little bodies, I mean, some people might be into that, but he just thinks it's very uncomfortable.
Some people might be into it.
He believes they should just stop.
Just stay the size you are. Why don't you gotta get so big and spiky?
Yeah.
They're poisonous too. Are the spikes poisonous? Or is it just eating them?
I think pufferfish are just poisonous if you cook them wrong.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
Because you can't eat them.
How strange is that? Like, they've got poison inside of them.
It's like eating raw chicken.
Oh.
It's like their liver that's
except
bad,
deadlier.
Anyways, interesting. Next to Jackson, we've got Fatty Lumpkins, a.k.a.
Keto. Or Theo.
Right, as his new body
name.
Yeah.
The old one's a lot easier to remember.
That's true. Keto.
But anyways, Fatty here playing Keto. Keto is a druid turned Echo Knight, and he is eager to discover his second persona sometime tonight.
That's right. From forest to fighter, we've got Keto.
Ooh, good catchphrase.
There we go. Yeah, you can use that. That's fine. Next to Fatty, we've got... He's so mean to say that, but I mean, that's what we're rolling with. Next to Fatty, we've got Cameron, who's playing... I want to say Fizzlefingers, because, man, that's catchy. And I'm not saying Rorick isn't, but Rorick, but now his in the new body of a strange goblin named Fizzlefingers. I'm doing too much intro for you. Go for it.
No, you were doing great.
Well, I know I was doing great, but I didn't want to take your thunder.
That was good pun, unintended. Yeah, he was a dwarf barbarian who loved frost. Now he's a goblin, rogue, who loves stealing and dealing and zapping people.
Does Rorick have any reservations about the fact that he's a goblin now? Like, does that bother him?
Well, I mean, you got no. Rorick actually loved goblins because he was a pirate. In his former body, he was a pirate, and that still kind of sheds through in his current persona. But while being a pirate, he would always have goblins on his ship, and he always found them to be really hilarious. And he actually learned Goblin while being a pirate.
Okay, right on.
So he actually fits really well
Nice.
into this because he just naturally knew Goblin.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Fair enough. He fits the part well. Awesome. Where last we left off, you guys had all just left like an art studio and you trashed the place. And while you guys were doing that, Feather McGregor, aka Little Sauce, went out to go. Well, first he quit his job with the sort of secret police department known as Blank Space, and then went to go visit his old dead friend's father, Gideon McGriddle, who owns a little tinker shop out in Tinker's Corner in the Atlantic Heights district. While he was there, he learned a disturbing fact that Gideon had resurrected, allegedly, his son in the body of a puppet that he had designed. And unfortunately, he lost control of it, and it has been kidnapping the children of the community surrounding Tinker Square. Distraught by this, you've returned to meet up with the rest of your comrades in a tavern, hoping that they will help you in your search to find and hopefully stop this strange undead being that is your dead best friend. You guys were finishing up in the tavern, and where we left off, you guys were just about to get the bill to pay for your food. And with that, we will kick things off with episode 11 of Criminals of Isla Numus. All right, guys, you guys are about to, as you guys are sitting there, the drow, Alton Drow was approaching you in his nice suit, and in his hand he holds a bill. You guys had told him that it was all going to be on one ticket, so it is, in fact, the entire meal on one ticket. He approaches, he sets the bill, or the ticket, down. He says, "Well, here's the ticket for your meal today. Feel free to take as much time as you need, although we do have some guests that would like to come in, so don't take too long." And he walks away to go help another table. You look at the bill, and you see a total of 128 gold pieces for all the drinks and food that everybody has ordered and eaten.
Des, with his right hand on top of his left, makes the little running man motion and points at the door.
I'm trying to recall what I ate at this establishment, and I don't think I ate much, so I too am okay with that.
I think you had a burger, but I can't be.
Oh, did I?
I think so.
I ordered the most
And then
expensive.
burger.
I ordered the most expensive thing on the menu.
Because I think the plan is to make me pay for it.
Yeah, no. Keto said he was going to pay for it.
And then
I
I
don't
know
think
somebody
he ever acknowledged that.
Somebody also got a thing of fairy fries for the whole table,
Yeah,
along with fairy fry sauce.
pretty sure that was.
Yeah.
Maki.
Maki waves his hand over the table. Says, just has to look like we paid, and creates a minor illusion of a pile of gold coins.
Oh!
Wow.
Nice. All right. You got a whole pile of gold coins on the table now, as far as anyone can tell. All right.
I'm content to walk.
And I mean, I'm assuming you just walk out of there?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody's suspecting you of anything at the current moment. You do see Alton Drow. He walks up to the table. He looks pretty happy. You guys are about at the door as he reaches down to touch or pick up some of the gold. Maybe he's got like a pouch or something that he scoops it into on his apron. And his hand goes right through it. And at that moment, he freezes for a moment. And then he stiffens up. And he starts to turn towards the door. But you guys are already stepping outside into the fresh air of freedom. And you hear a shout from behind you. "Hey! Wait a minute! They didn't pay their..." But you don't hear the word bill as the door closes behind you.
I'm gonna turn to Little Sauce over there and say, hey, do you know some back alleys that we could maybe make ourselves scarce?
Which town are we in? Yeah.
You guys are in. I believe you guys are in the medium, back in the medium district.
Yeah, whatever happens, guys, just act cool.
I mean, yeah, I know some back alleys. We can take the one. There'd be a few back alleys I know about. So, I mean, say there's one behind the restaurant. Let's cut behind the restaurant. We can cut over across the behind over by the river, and then we can get over to the Centerville district, which we need to get to anyways.
Des gives 2 thumbs up and starts walking in the wrong direction.
Sorry, what was the building you were looking for?
Okay, sorry, no, just because we've got to get over to
Gideon's, Gizmos, and the
so because we have to go
sorry.
from Mediumville, which would cross the
river.
the Central Stark, cross the river into Gortham.
You could take the river down.
The river or the ferry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the ferry's in the river.
Right, the ferry leaves from what
The Great Ferry.
Atlantis.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can get to. So if we take this back road behind the restaurant, we can cut over and get to the ferry. The last ferry should still be there for the night. We can cut over to from Central into the Gortham district.
All right, but too many back roads, and I'm gonna start singing country.
All right, you guys go sprinting around the restaurant. As you do, you can hear the door fly open behind you, and you hear shouts of, "Where do you think they went? I don't know, maybe that way." But at this point, you've already their shouts fade into the distance as you guys kind of make your way through a series of back alleys until you reach the Central Stark District. Now, the Central Stark District, it's a much nicer area. You look at the buildings and the rooftops and everything, and it is beautiful. Compared to the Mediumville, it is a stark cutoff between the two. Some Central Stark cutoff, you might say. I can read you guys the description if you want.
Please. I love descriptions.
Nestled between the vibrant Atlantic Heights and the humble Mediumville districts, the Central Stark District stands as a beacon of grandeur and innovation. The bustling district is a testament of the city's progress and the heart of its culture and technological achievements. It is a place where modern marvels and ancient traditions intertwine, creating a unique tapestry of possibilities. At the heart of the Central Stark District lies the renowned Temple of Light, a magnificent structure that pierces the sky with its towering spires. This awe-inspiring temple serves as a spiritual sanctuary, drawing worshippers from all walks of life who seek solace, guidance, and enlightenment. Within its hallowed halls, ancient rituals and sacred ceremonies are performed, carrying on the legacy of the deity revered by the city's inhabitants. Or at least this district's. No, they're across the city. Adjacent to the Temple of Lights is the prestigious Colosseum, an ancient marvel that hosts exhilarating combat, tournaments, and gladiatorial fights. Its grand arena echoes with the cheers of spectators as skilled fighters engage in spectacular displays of strength, skill, and valor. These are, I assume, things that you run past, you notice maybe in the distance or whatever, or maybe Feather McGregor gives you a little bit of a rundown of it. Whatever the case, here clash the weapons, and the thunderous applause of the crowds merge into a symphony of excitement and entertainment. Beyond the grandeur of the temple and Colosseum, the Central Stark District is a bustling hub of commerce, innovation, and cultural expression. Its streets are lined with opulent skyscrapers that house cutting-edge technological enterprises. That was a mouthful. Bustling marketplaces adorned with colorful awnings and a vibrant array of shops that offer everything from fashion arts to the latest gadgets and gizmos, as far as a high fantasy, can offer. That's a basic gist of the Central Stark District. It's very culturally centered. It's very much like we have a lot of maybe medium to medium high or medium upper class. There we go. Thank you. That's kind of the type of people that live here. So as you guys are kind of making your way through the back alleys and so on and so forth, you kind of spot a few people kind of going about their later night business, whatever that might be. They're all dressed fairly well. People are in maybe business casual to business attire. Even at this point in the night, business never really ceases in the Central Stark District. At least more legal business. Mediumville, plenty of business happens, but it's probably a bit more questionable. So anyway, you guys make your way through the back alleys of the Central Stark District for a little while until you reach the edge of the river that pierces through the center of the entire massive sprawling city and runs all the way through. And there you can see a small dock with a ferry boat, and it looks like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 people are getting on it. It actually has some like lanterns that hang off of it. It looks kind of nice. They're all lit up. It all reflects against the water in a really cool way. And you hear the man who is dressed in a sort of wide-brimmed hat, and he has a long stick in his hand, shout out,
Last call for the ferry! Last call for the final ferry down to the Gotham district.
Guys, we need to hit that.
Yeah, Dez will run to him, waving his hands, a big smile on his face.
"Oh, looks like we got a few stragglers. Yes, come on. It's a gold apiece, please. Unless you have a pass."
Now, you did mention when we first got here that the city is a little racist.
Oh, yes, that is very true.
Do we kind of stick out like a sore thumb in this fancy district?
Absolutely.
Cool. Is he going to let us on his boat?
At the moment, he doesn't seem to mind as long as you present the gold.
Okay.
It's 1 gold piece to take a full trip all the way. It's a one-way trip. One-way trip. If you're not familiar with how the ferry works, you guys don't look like you're from around here, so I'm assuming you don't.
How is this man dressed?
He's just kind of average. Actually, probably fairly casual. He's got kind of like, he looks like Monkey D. Luffy. He's got just kind of like a vest on. He's got the big hat, and then he's got like some janky looking shorts.
Okay. Dez walks up to him and puts a gold coin where a shirt pocket should be, but if he's dressed like Monkey D. Luffy, it just falls. And he kisses him on the cheek and gets on the boat.
He goes to catch it, and as he leans down to catch it, you kiss him on the cheek, and you go, "Oh, a tip? Ah!" Anyone else? Last call for the ferry.
I'll give him a goal hop on.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? You lot.
Yeah, I'm coming too. And be careful, Des. Remember, you don't have lips anymore.
It's just a
guy with his... It's
a literal peck on the cheek.
Hey. Nice.
Yeah, Maki.
Keto will follow suit and
All right.
drop a gold into his hands.
Perfect. And you, Goblin? Are you joining? And you can actually, I'm glad you pointed that out, because you can actually see the like 3-ish people that that were already on the boat. They all like get up and they all kind of move to the back, so they're all kind of sitting within each other sitting. It's 2 humans. It looks like maybe they're a couple or something, man and a woman. And you see a dragonborn. And they all just kind of scooch towards the back.
Rorick walks up to him, and he's got his pouch, and he starts digging through it. And he goes,
How much?
Oh, just 1 gold piece. Unless you have a pass.
Oh yeah, Rorick cannot.
A monthly
count.
pass.
He produces 1 gold piece.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And he pockets it into it. He's got a little pouch. He says, "Come on aboard."
Yeah, and then he waddles on in, and he takes a seat next to his friends. And now I pose a question to Skylar,
Okay.
because I was thinking about it.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, this is Skylar.
Thank you. So Rorick could not counter read,
Okay, this is true.
but his intelligence was 8.
Oh.
His new character now has an intelligence of 15.
Yes. That's a good point.
That's a big jump.
I think at this time, I mean, all the way up until now, he assumed he couldn't read, so he just kind of ignored books. But I feel like words kind of start to make sense now. And as you, like he said 1, and you reach in your pouch, and you pulled 1 out almost instinctively. And it was what he asked for, which is different for you. As far well, you wouldn't have known, I guess. I mean, you kind of always just assumed you were doing things right, but people always questioned you or second guessed you when you did things.
No,
before.
Rorick knew he couldn't count.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He was self-aware.
No, he was very self-aware.
and he was just kind of hoping.
Well, the thing is, people would never question him because he was a barbarian. They would
Sure.
just kind of take it and not complain
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
because you don't want to make a barbarian mad.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of unexpected understanding that's kind of happening every once in a while whenever you do accidentally glance at a word or have to count something.
Now, do you think that this will transfer when we get out of this world, or will you just be like very frustratedly?
It's kind of like I imagine.
I ditch all the picture books I got.
Yeah.
Only to find out that I can't read and need them back again.
I imagine it's kind of like some sort of like Harry Potter thing where like the words kind of start to just form together, and it's like, oh, wait a minute.
But I'm also
This
a
actually makes
goblin.
sense. Right.
A
But
goblin.
you speak common.
Are you saying goblins are dumb?
I'm a rogue goblin. I figured I wouldn't have Picto. Reading.
Fizzlefingers is obviously a very clever.
Yeah, I'm a
goblin.
very smart goblin. Anyways, we can continue.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So you guys hop onto the boat. Like I said, every once in a while you glance behind you, and the what was the word you used the other day? Minion races.
Yeah, we're like the minion henchmen
The minion
races.
henchmen races. Yeah, the non-minion races are kind of glancing some dagger looks at you all whenever you look back towards them. They're not super stoked that you're here, but the guy that runs the boat doesn't seem to care. He hops on to the side and begins to push down with his giant stick as he pulls you guys into the water, which kind of carries you along in a nice gentle pace. And he pulls a little bit just to give it a little bit of extra speed, but nothing that would make anybody uncomfortable or anything like that. It's not a rushed little boat. It is kind of a bit more of a casual transportation. And eventually, maybe probably like 15 minutes later, he goes, "Whoa," and he slows it down as he starts to pull against the stream. The boat kind of moves almost strangely over to the side horizontally as it pulls into the dock. And you look around, and now you are in the Gortham district.
As we get off the boat, so you said there was a couple on the boat?
Yes.
Like a romantic couple?
Yeah.
Possibly platonic. Who knows?
They look very cozy.
Who is it? A man and a woman?
Yes.
Human?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you getting progressive with it? Could be a man and a man.
Or is the dragon and
Man and a mermaid?
involved?
I think the Dragonborn sits so awkwardly far from him that you feel pretty confident that he is in no way involved in their romantic relationship.
Darn.
Yeah, he's really missing out.
It could have been so much.
Maki wants to try to figure out where they're keeping, I don't know, their wallet or something.
Okay, all right. Do probably either an investigation check.
Nat 20.
Holy
Wow.
cats!
All right, wallets are bulging.
Yes. You see very promptly. The woman carries a purse that's slung across her shoulder. The young man that is with her, he has what looks like a wallet that protrudes from his back pocket. And as you guys kind of pull into the docks and he stands up, you can see, whoa, one butt cheek looks very strangely shaped compared to the other butt cheek. There's probably a wallet in there. The Dragonborn, on the other hand, has a very nice little sash attached to his belt. It is a velvet sash, and you can hear the occasional clink of coins as he steps forward over the seats of the boat.
Dez runs. We stopped, right?
Yes,
I
yep.
missed
You
that.
pull
Okay,
into the dock. Yep.
Pulled into the dock. Dez runs to the edge of the dock and he throws down like a sack or something in front of him, like he's gonna panhandle, right?
Okay.
And as a distraction,
Okay.
he recites a story that is just like in his brain.
He's just
right?
coming up
He's
with
just
it.
coming up with it. It's
Okay.
just, somehow these words are coming out of him. He's not quite sure where he heard it, but it goes. In the marmalade forest, past the make-believe trees, in a cottage cheese cottage, lived Albie. Yes, Albie. Albie, the racist dragonborn. And he'd pull daggers at the dragonborn getting off the boat. And so this is an opportunity for them to be distracted.
Yes.
So that things can be stolen.
I like that. Oh, yeah, that Dragonborn, he glares back at you, and he kind of walks over, and he says, "What's that supposed to mean?"
Dez backs up and does the fisticuffs, but continues the story.
Yeah.
So while
I
it's
do want to point out that was the first time Dez spoke without his soundboard.
That's true, yeah. He could have used it, but we would have gotten slapped with a nasty copyright infringement
It's a
from
very
the
good
amazing
thing I have that
people
whole story memorized.
over at, over at the Flight of the Conchords.
Maki steps in between you guys and says, "Whoa, I'm sure he didn't mean anything by it, sir." And
He's accusing me of racism.
and as he's like putting his hand against the dragonborn chest, he drops it. He like pats him on the shoulder with his other hand. It's like, "I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding, a cultural difference."
Get
perhaps."
your filthy feathers off of me, bird boy!
And he swats at you with his arm,
And
trying
he
to push
cried
you away.
dragon tears, which, as we all know, turn into jelly beans.
My tears are not crying, and they do not turn into jelly beans.
I don't know, he's Hulk
But
Hogan
as Maki was patting him with his other hand, his left hand drops down and tries to take the sash off of his belt.
now. All right.
The
Well,
coin sash.
you are being helped at the moment, so you can take advantage on that.
Wowzers.
Sneakily reach for that.
Sleight of hand?
Yes.
That's a 21.
And that wasn't even with advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Not even with. Hang on, let it get better.
I really could only roll one number better.
You as he sort of flings you away, he swats at you with his arm, kind of knocks you back a little bit. You use your back claw to kind of latch onto that little sash that's laying there, and all he considers you as is knocked away, but he doesn't realize that you've swiped his little sack of coins right out from off his belt. And then he turns back to Dez, and he says,
Oh, you got more to say about my proud race? I think you're the racist one.
Dez picks up his sack, jumps in the air, clicks his heels, and runs away.
That's right, and I don't want to see you in my districts again.
Oh, I'm getting out of here. And Maki pushes up against the couple that's exiting the boat.
oh, jeez, oh, gosh.
Licking his beak in anticipation of this bulging wallet.
He's coming towards us, Matthew. How dare!
Well, no, I'm not trying to like.
Well, I know. I mean, he just like coming towards them. They're obviously racist too, so.
Obviously.
Oh, he probably has fleas. Help, Matthew! And he's like, oh dear. And he looks just as concerned. He's like, oh, I don't want to get fleas on me.
Look out! He's gonna kill me. Get out of the way.
No, please, no. You're trying to. Are you trying to steal from one of them or both of them?
Just the guy. I
Okay,
suppose.
all right. So this is just gonna be straight sleight of hand on this guy.
What'd you roll?
11.
Oh gosh, he had a 13.
Oh,
He sees that you're reaching towards him. He doesn't know necessarily that you're reaching for his wallet, but it's just that he's bothered by the fact that you're going to touch him at all. And he goes, "No, stop, please! Oh gosh, please!" And he swats at you, and he kind of bumps you a little bit, and you're pretty close to the edge of the dock, and you start to lean ever so slightly towards the water. You want to do a dexterity save?
Okay, I'm gonna try to do a dexterity save to jump to the shore.
Wow, impressive.
Just skip the whole dock.
Yeah.
Who needs it? Well, you know,
Or to the dock, whatever
Right.
we're moored up.
Well, you're
against.
you're hanging off the dock, so you could
Jump it
probably
off the
reach
boat.
just off the edge of the shore.
Dex saving 16.
16. Okay, you just narrowly only getting like the backs of your heels wet in the water as you leap towards the edge of the shore and land with a slight splash, just a slight splash. Hurry, Mary, we must get away. These filthy creatures are going to get fleas all over us. We'll never be able to clean them out. And they rush off into the city.
Hey, these talons are good for something, I guess. Because they allow me to grip on.
Rorick's going to lean over to Keto. Sorry, he leans
Oh,
over to
right,
Keto.
right.
So yeah, and he goes, "I never knew Maki had fleas." Can I make a perception roll to see if I've watched Maki pick these people's pockets?
If you want to, sure.
12.
12. Probably not. I don't think you would have seen it.
Both times?
He was only
actually,
successful the one.
That's true.
You made 2 attempts.
I think on the second try, you think maybe he was going for it, but you're not 100% sure because it's pretty close to honestly what
I'm
he
only
got.
asking because Rorick hasn't even considered the thought of pickpocketing to make money.
Oh, okay.
But if he sees Maki doing it, that's what I'm saying. If he sees Maki doing it, then the idea would strike his mind, and now he'd be thinking about nothing but pickpocketing.
Yeah. You know what? That would be just... Now that we
'Cause-
have this ball rolling, whenever we're walking through city streets, immediately just roll for it.
I can...
It's just like Assassin's Creed.
Oops, one guy there.
Well, I'm going to see him trying to, like, pick that second person's paw, but it was very clumsy. So he missed the first one, but he sees a bad attempt at a second one.
Sure.
So Rorick's like, wonder if I can just do better than that. And so he just kind of takes his hand and he just
Touches the guy.
throws it. He just throws his hand, and as he flicks his hand forward, a second hand flies out of his hand, and it's a mage hand.
Yes.
And it chases down the man. But while it does, it goes invisible.
Yes.
And it's going to pick his pocket.
All right. Do a sleight of hand check.
17.
17.
With an invisible hand.
Oh, no. He got a 19.
Oh.
He goes, oh, Mary, it's touching my bum. It's touching my bum, Mary.
But he has no idea what it is.
And they don't know what it is. They're too scared to even look behind them, and they just start sprinting even faster.
Wow.
Mary, we're going to have to bleach these jeans.
I'm being sexually assaulted by a ghost.
It's the hands are going to start snapping and chasing. And
then what, like it hits like a 30-foot.
Yeah,
is it 30
just
or
flies
60?
back to him.
Yeah.
I think it's 30.
I'm pretty sure it's 30. Whatever the case, Maki, you check this wallet and you find 83 gold inside.
Woo.
Did he have
Very nice.
any sort of passes, like unlimited pasta or
That's
ferry rides?
There was a ferry pass in there. This is obviously a trip that he makes fairly regularly, so he buys the month pass. Let's say it's like halfway through the month, so you've got a half a month left on this pass. For
Nice.
what it's worth.
That's like 30 gold.
Sell that on the black market.
They do like a discount if you do the full month pass. It's like 25. Just for anyone that was going to be curious later, or for my reference. Later.
Now I know what to use my money on.
Yeah, so many passes.
Yeah. Why get out of this world when you can buy it with these bargains around?
About what
We
time?
get the
About
ferry.
what time is it now after this?
Yeah. So it'd probably be about 8:30. I'm saying.
Right. So I say to I think we should head over to Gideon's Gizmos.
It's just 2 of us.
Is it just 2 of us? Where are the other ones?
Those 2 ran off.
Oh, they're
Whoa,
still
whoa,
gone?
I don't think they ran off. They were still.
I thought
He's
they're
on
still
the
here.
boat.
No,
with
I'm
just me and
Keto.
I'm pretty sure you all are like within range of the dock. I think Maki is kind of on the edge of the water,
okay.
right off the dock. But...
he scampered off.
Did you run off?
Des
Yeah,
scampered off.
I did the little heel click and ran away.
Oh
from
yeah,
the
that's right. That's right.
Dragon Boy.
Yeah. Disappeared into a crowd of people and came back.
Yeah, I'll just return. That's all right.
We'll just hey, who's got that rock?
I have the
rocky
question.
top.
Can I see it?
Oh yeah, we haven't asked our question today, have we?
I was gonna use it to.
No,
what?
I don't want to ask
no,
it a
no,
question.
it's
Just let me see it.
I think you did.
no. Yeah, we have. It's not a new day. It's still the same
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Because I asked. Because I was gonna use
Yeah.
it to ask where
I just want to
McGriddle
try
is.
something.
Yes.
All right, so I hand the rock over because I can't really.
I take it and I toss it across the alley.
Oh, this okay.
Just like away from us.
So it goes clink, 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 clink across the stone and gravel
I say,
pathway.
wait, and I hold Feather back with my winged arm. Wait for it. It does.
And sure enough, after a moment goes by, this light emanates from the sky, beamed straight down onto the rock.
I've lit the beacon.
And as you watch, a multitude of small insects starts to form around this bright light.
Wait, they can see it.
I thought only we could see it.
Apparently you and bugs.
Oh, wow.
I just wrote that into canon.
That's interesting. How do we use this for ourselves? We can just make bugs appear out of nowhere.
The help that will allow.
And everyone would be like, why are all these bugs right here? There's no reason for all these bugs to be.
trick. I can make bugs. Woo!
Wow. The bugs are attracted to that beacon.
Are those fleas that were crawling all over you, Maki?
Yeah, it's the fleas. They've gone for you.
Hopefully, Des will see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be on. It's gonna spot him on top of a roof nearby. With
Hang up a pillar like I'm in Assassin's Creed.
like a cape floating behind him.
Jumps off.
Where'd I get this?
Lands into a haystack. You hear an eagle for some reason.
It's just me.
It's just that's the first name. All right, so you guys are together. What were you gonna say to him, Little Sauce?
I think we should head to Gideon's Gizmos. It's getting late, and he'll have some more information for us. Try and find McGriddle. I go over and I'm gonna bat all the bugs away as I pick up the rock and I just shake my head and put it back in my pocket.
Feather can see the beacon, can
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he found.
He's sort of been.
He found
given,
the rock earlier.
Right. He's kind of been given.
He's been given power.
power.
Yeah.
Like a
So powerful.
Revelation.
Sentience.
It's more just sentience. That's it. Apparently, bugs are sentient in this world.
Who knows what else is into.
Okay.
All right.
That was not the voice.
Okay.
You lead your friends over to the shoot, I forget what it was called. I'm pretty sure it was like the Trinket Square. I'm pretty sure is what it's called. Yes, Trinket Square. You lead them over to Trinket Square, and you guys are easily able to see the old worn sign over Gideon's Gizmos.
While we're heading there, do we pass people?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start picking their pockets with my invisible mage hand.
All right, roll me. Let's just do 3.
Okay. I'm aiming for richer looking people.
Sure.
14, 21, and 27.
Okay. I'm gonna call 2 of those a success.
What is that? Oh, it's a 6.
It's 106 coins.
Alrighty.
Nice.
And that's just kind of an
doing
overview.
for the rest of this campaign.
Oh wait, you only need to do that 1,000 more times?
Easy. And this is just passive income for me at this point.
Des would like to do the same.
Okay.
but Des can't see Rorick doing this. So Des might try to do pulls from the same person because I'm doing it invisibly.
But
He's aiming for rich people.
Des goes for poor people.
Oh, no! That's way worse, Des.
I shrug.
Do 3 sleight of hands.
You bet. I won't use my mage hand, although my mage hand would be very funny because it's just a bunch of bugs.
Can normal
It's actually the twig
Can
sprites.
normal
Oh
mage-
yeah, I'm definitely
Can
using my
normal
mage
mage
hand.
hands pickpockets?
It can lift something that is
Because
under
I have
10
a special
pounds, right?
one from
Ledger domain?
from the Arcane Trickster
domain.
that adds the
Let's see.
ability to pick pockets with it. It says you can use the hand to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour the contents out of a vial.
Technically, a pocket is an open container.
That's if it's straight out of a pocket. But
Unless
if
they're
it's
wearing
out of a
skinny
pouch,
jeans.
you would have to like be slowly pulling it out of a pouch, and there's just a hand behind them just pulling out money.
All right, I'll give you 1 sleight of hand.
You can reach,
One slide.
grab,
That's fine.
and pull.
Yeah,
But then they would just see a hand just floating away with all the money.
So
If
you'll
you
give me
get
1
big.
sleight of hand. I will use my mage hand because that's funny. It's just a bunch of little twig sprites climbing this one guy, little chirping.
funny,
Trying not
And
to
they-
be noticed.
Yeah. Oh no, they don't care. They're just climbing this guy.
Oh, they just
Probably,
want the money.
you know, taking his wallet.
They take like a coin each and they just go running through the street.
It's my sleight of hand though. It's probably pretty good. Oh, it's a It's a 5.
It's a
That
total of
doesn't
5.
work. Total of 5.
So your
rough.
twig sprites, like you send them, your little swarm hand reaches out, and they sort of kind of emanate from it. Are they like fey creatures?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. So they kind of spawn out of you. They like come out of your sleeve, like some kind of Naruto character.
I like to imagine that they look like.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that is.
I like to imagine that they look like the cinnamon stick guy from the old Apple Jacks commercial.
Just thousands of them.
Just thousands of them.
So you just hear them
Are these
running-
Jamaican?
Yeah, I was gonna say, they sound Jamaican. They go running.
Rastafarian stick
They all
dogs.
they all have dreadlocks.
They go. They're all running across the street. They just have like really high pitched Jamaican accents.
Well, no wonder they got caught.
But yeah, they're all like scrambling on top of each other as they climb up this dude's leg. He notices as his leg starts to suddenly weigh a lot more.
Yeah, of
and he goes,
course.
and he's just panicking, trying to like swat him off of his body, and then he goes sprinting off
Darn.
in fear.
Wonder what his problem is.
It's not a dream this time.
Oh.
Wonder if he saw the puppet.
As he disappears off into the distance, you guys round a corner and you find yourselves opened up into Trinket Square, a series of stores in sort of a wide square radius with a big open square in the middle and a fountain in the middle of that has kind of just a strange kind of abstract piece of art. It's sort of like a series of gears and just obscure pieces that all move and spin and whatnot, and that's what allows the water to kind of shoot out of the top of it. You're not really sure what it's supposed to be, but it's a series of odd trinkets kind of all put together into one big trinket gadget that moves this water in a fountain. Whatever the case, you guys see Gideon's gadgets, and Feather McGregor leads you there and opens up the door. It is still open. The light is still on the outside. The lantern has not been blown out. So you guys let yourselves inside, and the rest of you are all greeted by what is Gideon's trinkets. A series of shelves all crammed full of various odd trinkets, metal gizmos, and gadgets. Some of it's assembled, some of them not. Everything from little clockwork dolls and puppets to pocket watches hanging from racks to mechanical jewelry pieces, puzzle boxes, wind-up toys, music boxes, small automaton pets. Des, I think you probably get a little bit of a twitch seeing all of these, what would technically be constructs. Even though they're small, they're toys, they're not like full automatons per se or anything like that. They're not human-sized. But I think there's probably something in you that's probably like, oh, yeah, these things.
For Dez, he begins to feel very warm.
Yes.
Upon entering the room, it's like uncomfortably warm in here.
Okay. Yeah. I like
He's
that.
pulling at a non-existent shirt collar.
Yeah. Awesome. You can hear somebody. It sounds like probably working in the back of the shop once again.
Get in! Get in!
Oh, yeah.
Gideon up here, dude.
Who's that?
Get on up here!
You might be here to rob me, but I've never heard that one before, so I'll come on out. Oh, hey, it's Feather McGregor with it. Oh, you got a whole band of friends here. Who are all these?
We're here to find McGriddle.
Oh, fantastic. Cool.
But they only agreed to do it for
Yes, 50
the
gold
gold.
apiece.
50
Yes,
gold.
I understand. And of course, if you find the kids, you can return those for an additional reward, since that's what you're all about.
How many kids are missing
Oh, jeez.
since the last time we spoke earlier today? Any more disappearances?
If I'm being completely honest with you, the people in the area are so upset I have not left this store in quite some time, probably the last couple of weeks. Last I heard, it was probably about a dozen kids.
Since this morning.
Oh, no, in total. That's last I heard, though. I mean, there
That's
could be more.
still pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely pretty bad. I'm gonna give McGriddle the spanking of his life when we find him and you bring him back.
Any more leads on where he might be?
Oh, nothing since the last time I saw you. Remember how I told you should talk to those people here in town? Might be a little bit late for that, but I feel like they'd be your best bet.
When have the disappearances been happening again? What time of day?
Usually during the, well, kind of mixed, honestly. Yeah. Some of them during the day, some of them at night, sort of late afternoon. About when kids would be sent to bed by their parents. But like I said, I haven't been out much, so I don't know a whole lot of the details.
Well, we're here to help. Do you have any gizmos that might help us?
It's not really what I do. My stuff is dolls and toys. I don't make weapons.
He doesn't make useful trinkets.
Yeah, but you
Well,
got
no.
you got gadgets and trinkets, anything that might help us.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Not really. I haven't had the same inspiration I had ever since McGriddle died. Unfortunately.
And you haven't worked on any more of these dolls or anything like that.
Well, I mean dolls.
Any more?
Oh,
life
you're saying
size?
bring it? No, I don't have anyone else to bring back to life. Who else would I bring back to life?
Your wife?
We already talked about this, and I have no interest.
All right. Well, anybody have any questions?
Do you want me to let you know who might be able to help you?
If you got any leads, we'll take them.
All right. Well, let's see here. You could talk to the victim's parents. That'd be an awkward conversation, but I feel like maybe they could give you some more details. There's the guards in the area. They know a lot about the crimes, so they obviously know a lot about the disappearances and the, situations and scenarios surrounding them. Let's see. Elian. Ooh, Elian the street agent. Now that kid gets around. He knows all the gossip around town. He knows just about everything, and he's also one of the few kids that hasn't been taken, which is odd. Maybe a little suspicious. I don't know. Let's see. The shop owners, most of them are probably parents of the kids that have disappeared, so that's kind of a double up on there. Let's see. Oh, Sister Serena. She's the one that stops by every once in a while and checks in on me and makes sure everything's okay. She's been talking about having some weird dreams and more like nightmares. I don't know. Those spiritual types, they always seem to know a little something about the weird supernatural things going on in town. So she might have some ideas.
Like a demon a man summoned?
Let's hope not.
Des looks at you with a quizzical face.
Well, that's what we're finding, right? A demon?
Who said the D word?
Well, you said you summoned him, right?
Oh, yes, my son. His soul.
Isn't that like what you do when you summon something? Summon a demon?
Nope, you try not to. You really just summon the soul that you're going for. And that's what I did.
Did McGriddle steal kids in the past?
Not as far as I knew.
And I
Feather,
don't
did he
think it's
steal kids in the
McGriddle.
back of the day?
No. See, I didn't want to bring it up earlier, but since you went ahead and was blunt about it, are we sure it's McGriddle?
It's not.
Oh, sure it's McGriddle.
McGriddle wouldn't steal children.
Alright, here's how it worked. The thing, the spell, whatever, the ritual I did, said it brought back a soul, and you had to have things from that soul's past. You use them as part of the ritual.
What things did you use?
Oh, his old crossbow that he used over at Blank Space. His favorite doll that I made him as a kid, little Bumptabilin. Gosh, I don't know why he gave him such a name. Bumptabilbin.
Hang on. But didn't you make a replica of Bumptabilbin for the other troubled neighborhood kids?
Oh, sure, but I didn't give him the original.
Are you sure this is the original?
I'm dang sure.
How sure? How do you know?
I haven't really touched a whole lot from McGriddle's old room, and that was one of the things in there.
McGriddle used to like to loan him out so that his friends could feel safe at night when they're having bad days.
Okay, but here's the thing. This thing, when it animated or the soul came through, or whatever you want to call it, it was out for a couple of days. Like, it was kind of unresponsive for the most part. I put it in McGriddle's room because I was confident I did it right, and it was McGriddle, and that's where he stayed. So I put him in McGriddle's room, and then over the course of a couple of days, that's when he finally came out of the room, and he seemed like he was getting better. This is kind of a process to get used to the body that you're inside of, I'd assume. And he came out, and he knew all sorts of things that only McGriddle would have known. I don't see how it possibly could have been anyone other than McGriddle. Any other questions? What else do you need? What else do you need?
I'm measuring things around the room.
Okay.
What are you measuring with?
My hand.
Oh, okay.
Stick my hand up next to like wooden objects.
Sure.
Ah, old carpenter's trick.
That's right. I'm just measuring stuff.
Yes. I had a teacher back in college. He was a theater professor, and he talked about like using your parts of your body to measure different things.
Sure. Yeah, and he's measuring stuff, and he's definitely not doing this just to find out how many things he could stuff into a sack without it becoming full.
Okay. I will say, and this is
He's not taking anything.
No.
While this is just happening, he's just randomly putting his hand up next to stuff.
Okay.
Looking at
Sure.
it, going, and I just keep going to the next stuff.
Des takes a piece of paper and he writes out, can you show us where the ritual took place?
Oh,
Points
yeah.
it at the guy.
Can you show me? Certainly. Yes, actually, it was in McGriddle's room. I had to use a place that was familiar to him in order to do it. Yeah, sure, I'll show you.
So he leads you guys upstairs to the room, and inside he opens up the door, and you can see on the floor there's a small 4x4 feet. There's a little clearing section of the room, and that's where sort of this almost pentagram-esque looking circle with a star inside shape sort of thing is sitting there. The candles have since been removed that he mentioned using in the ritual. There is a little bin that's inside that has some ashes inside of it. And he's like,
Well, you have to use the things that I used in the ritual. You had to burn them. It's kind of part of the whole thing. Fire, and I don't know, whatever else. But we had to use those, and that's what the ashes. Otherwise, everything's pretty intact.
the bed's a little bit messy. You wonder if maybe he hasn't made it since whenever the last time McGriddle was here and then left.
Are there any did he use any runes in the ritual? Would I know them?
That's a good question. I think he probably would have used some sort of magical energy source or components or something like that for sure. But you wonder if either they would have been consumed as part of the ritual, and maybe that was part of within the ashes, or if they've kind of been de-energized or spent or whatever the case is.
Gotcha.
He probably talks about that.
Gotcha.
Can I roll like intelligence or wisdom?
What are you looking for?
Just looking at the things he says he used for the ritual.
Sure.
See if I can spot where because obviously something has gone wrong, or this just doesn't work in general. But I'm assuming something probably went wrong with this.
Okay.
So is there a way? Which one would I roll for?
If you wanted to see if the ritual was done incorrectly, I would say as a wizard, you are in a unique position to probably do an Arcana check.
Okay. Nat 1, so 6.
Yeah, you did.
So 6.
Okay. Well, within your magical prowess that you've kind of developed over time, you have not seen that. You've heard of the dark side of magic, some of the more questionable stuff, some of the, bring back the dead or summon things that you shouldn't bring into this plane or whatever the case. You heard about that stuff, but you've never seen it yourself, so you're not really sure a whole lot of frame of reference. It definitely gives you the spooks, though.
Dark Side of the Magic is a good album by that one band, Orange Floyd.
Oh, is it really?
No.
Oh, okay. It sounds pretty sick, though.
It's a Pink Floyd reference.
Dark side.
Okay.
All right, Gideon. To be honest, I was a little too excited there before. I wasn't taking in what you said about your ritual. Now, where did you get this ritual?
Oh, it's in a book.
What kind of book?
Well, this book right here.
It's called the Necronomicon.
I was told it was bound.
I said it!
I was told it was bound in the human skin.
Oh, man.
No, it seems like a fairly normal book for the most part.
Mind if I take a closer look at that?
Sure. Like I said, I'm not bringing anybody else back, so I don't really need it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm giving it to you, but feel free to take a look.
Yeah, Maki takes a look at this book.
All right, so it definitely seems to be an old book, and it is filled with a variety of dark rituals, some of which you can kind of understand. Some of them are very complex and kind of hard to, make sense of or read or whatever the case. Inside the cover,
But what did you say? What did he do with the ritual? He had objects.
Oh,
that he
yeah.
arranged in a circle.
Yes. So the objects.
I was actually reading something about. I just realized that I only get to pick 2 of these meta magic abilities. So
Gotcha. So basically, the way that the ritual, as you find the ritual, he points it out to you in the book. The way that the ritual works is there's the points of this, the exterior points of the star. And those exterior points, you put a candle at the end of each one. On the interior points of the star, you have to put some sort of object that the soul is familiar with. And that's how you are able to...
he used a crossbow.
One of the items he used was a crossbow, yes. Is more of a light crossbow, similar to the one that Feather McGregor would have had prior to him quitting. So his boss made him turn that in.
Duty crossbow.
Yes, exactly.
Looks like a star pattern ritual. I've seen a few of those.
Well, Gideon, we can go out looking tonight, or do you mind if we stay here potentially for the night?
Oh, you're more than welcome to stay here for the night if you need to.
And we can get started in the morning, or
Sure.
it's up to these guys.
I think that's a great idea.
I think maybe this book may possibly give us a clue if I examine the ritual on how to track this creature down.
I'm gonna stay. You can read the book. I'll look around the room, and we'll stay here tonight, see what we can find, and then we start fresh in the morning.
Dez would like to inspect the bed, presuming that McGriddle slept in the bed last time he was here.
Yeah.
And to see if he can gain some sort of like scent or acknowledgement of the, I guess, feeling that this construct gives him, so it would be easier to track.
Okay.
Like a hound dog. I'm sniffing the bed so I
Yeah.
can pick up a scent.
Yeah, no, definitely. Does it say anything about like a specific skill, or is it just
It
kind of
says it's easier to track.
Okay. Let's do an investigation.
Sure. I'm sure I'm good at that.
Or I guess perception would work as well if that's more something up his alley. Bottom line, it should be something that's...
Yeah, sure. Okay, 16 plus... Am I doing perception or investigation?
Whichever's higher.
Okay, 16 plus 3 is a 19.
Okay. You notice some fibers, and you notice a variety of colors. He's got a wide color palette
Okay.
that he might be wearing, or maybe it's part of his puppet body.
His multicolored coat. Of
Yes,
course.
yes, exactly.
We're biblical here.
Yes. And then, I don't know, I think at the same time you would also probably get a little bit of an idea looking at the maybe imprint from the bed, or maybe the way that some of the blankets might be laid out, and then also referencing some of the stuff that you see downstairs that Gideon's also made to kind of, in your head, you can kind of get a little bit of an idea of what this puppet being might look like.
What he would look like. Okay. So he's multicolored, and looks like that. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of looks like, man, there was like a live action Pinocchio way back in the day, and it was like kind of creepy. All I remember was at the beginning of it, he steals a cannoli, and he's got like cannoli all over his face. He's got like whipped cream or whatever, and it just was really eerie looking. I don't know what it was called though, but
There was a recent live action Pinocchio.
that's true. That's true. The old one was just creepy looking enough. But whatever the case, I think that if you can find that, I think it'll give you a good idea of what I'm talking about.
Maki wants to look at this ritual, the specific one that brought
Yeah,
this McGriddle entity back.
sure. It's definitely, I mean, you flip through the book in general, you can definitely tell that everything in this book is definitely some kind of a dark magic. There's everything from causing other people pain, like from a distance, kind of like some weird voodoo kind of stuff, to bringing back the dead in a variety of different ways. You could bring back a recently dead body as kind of a zombie-esque, very like necromantic spell, all the way to bringing back more of the souls of someone that you actually cared about, Darcidius encouragement style. You know, you could save her. to let's see, just some really like gross stuff, like changing or filling their food with maggots or something, just like real nasty kind of witch-esque kind of stuff.
Where did you get this book, Gideon?
Oh, well, someone traded it to me for a couple of little gadgets I had.
Where did this transaction take place?
Right here in my shop. Not right here, because obviously we're in McGriddle's room, but I was downstairs in the shop, and a couple of fellows in some spooky hooded situations came in. They said they wanted to... Oh, what was it they wanted? It was just some of my dolls. Nothing fancy about them or anything like that. And they said they wanted to trade the book for those.
You don't keep a ledger or like any names or anything of these transactions?
Well, if it was a financial transaction, then I'm legally obligated to note it in my books. But if it's more of a barter situation, they really can't tax it, so I don't keep track of it as much. Why do you ask?
Just wondering if we would be able to backtrace this mysterious book.
And we're with the IRS.
Oh no!
Flash my badges.
This is
I open
worse
up
than my
my
son's death. I'm way behind on my taxes. You don't even know.
Man, Maki like flashes his. He's got like all.
Oh, he's actually doing this?
Well, that's more of a joke. But yeah, we're with the King's Tax Collection Division.
Oh,
He's got like all of the badges he's collected, so they're not even tax collector badges.
Gideon, calm down. He's kidding. He's kidding.
The KTC.
Oh, thank goodness.
King's Tax Collectors.
Nice.
We are with the KTC.
We're with the KTC. That's what we need to start doing.
But Maki does open up his notebook and make note. Gideon behind on his taxes.
Just in case you can use that later.
Before they know it.
Gideon gets you guys set up with some various blankets and sleeping bag-esque things.
I had a question.
Yeah, okay.
They all went upstairs
Sure.
to Gideon's room, right?
Yeah,
I didn't.
sure.
I was still downstairs putting my hand on things.
Yep.
I was just buying time.
Okay.
Also, I was looking to see where his safe was.
Yeah, sure. Do an investigation check.
Hooray! Investigation? Well, I suck at that, and actually I'm better at that than 12.
12. Ooh, yeah, I don't think you find anything. This is a
Do
guy
I see
that's...
anything of value? Like jewelry?
You see, honestly,
Gems?
this place is...
Jewels?
I mean, there's definitely the clockwork jewelry, and some of those are inset with some small gems. It's not much, though. It's more about the like clockwork mechanics of it, which that in and of itself might be valuable. It just kind of depends. But whatever the case, you don't find anything that's like direct money or any like big gems or anything like that. It's mostly, that would probably be the most valuable stuff that catches your eye.
Boring. Okay, well, I'm guessing blanket time.
All right. So yeah, he gets you guys all set up with some sleeping arrangements, and you guys spend the night over at Gideon McGriddle's house. During the night, most of you sleep pretty well, but Feather McGregor, you being so close and reminded of so much of your old friend, you experience some nightmares where you see flashbacks of the events that led up to your friend's death. You see, obviously, both of you joining Blank Space. You're reliving this within your dream, right? Joining Blank Space, being sent on this special secret mission where you were going undercover to seek out an organization known as the Legionnaires. They still exist, a group of some fairly wealthy people, mostly located in the Condale district. Sort of a gang of sorts, but they do have some small factions in Gortham, and that's where you guys were, right here in McGregor's home district. And you got in with some of their sort of like a small faction or whatever, and you got into a situation where they wanted you to prove your loyalty to them, essentially. And in order to do that, you had to kill your friend. And just as you are jabbing the knife into your friend once again. You wake up. You're sweating. You're a bit startled. You're a bit out of sorts. And then you remember where you are. You remember what's going on now. And you're able to go back to sleep. And the rest of your sleep is fairly uneventful. And with that, we'll close out episode 11.
Thank you so much for listening to Criminals of Isla Numus, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast set in a homebrew world created by me, Skylar Gorset. If you've been enjoying our show so far, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever it is that you're streaming from, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else that podcasts can be streamed. Or just check us out on our website, sessionzeroheroes.com. Additionally, if you enjoy Coin, you might enjoy some of Session Zero Heroes' other shows, such as our Benders and Brews and Avatar Legends Actual Play, where we jump into the world of Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra using the Avatar Legends system created by Magpie Games. Or one of our various one-shots, which we are currently coming out with, where we use a variety of games and TTRPG systems to tell a variety of fun, exciting, emotional, and hilarious stories within our group. We have all sorts of other content that we highly recommend checking out within the SZH channel, and more to come in the future. To find out more about what we do at Session Zero Heroes, and to keep up with a lot of the other content we produce and be made aware of future projects, shows, and content, be sure to follow us on social media on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Discord. These are all great ways to get in contact with our team, as well as to keep up to date with everything that we're creating and working on. We'd love to see you there. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to stay curious, stay heroic, until we roll again.